Hey, welcome back to another adventure. This week, I want to show you how I build my bulletproof guitars. Now, this is not a guitar tutorial, but I'm going to take you through the process because I get tons of questions when I take my guitars to shows about how I make them. So, let's get started and I'll narrate the process as I go so you guys can get an understanding of what it takes to build a bulletproof guitar. So here we are at the bandsaw. Now this material comes in 4x8 sheets. It's about an inch and a quarter thick, and I lay the guitars out and then do a rough cut with a skill saw and then bring them over here to the bandsaw and roughly cut the shape. And this is a time consuming process. This material is designed to create friction with metal, and that's how it catches bullets. It becomes almost like a glue, and so as I'm cutting this, the material heats up and tries to stick that blade, and it's a pain in the butt, to be quite honest. It's very time consuming. You have to go very, very slow to get these things cut out without sticking the blade, and I've stuck the blade many times. It takes a lot of practice to get to understand the speed that you need to cut at so that you're not overheating things, but you don't want to go too slow because that causes heat and friction and sticks the blade too. So I'm cutting within a quarter inch or so of my lines, and then I'll finish it up with a router. I'll show you that here in just a minute. So it takes probably about an hour to get one of these rough cut on the bandsaw. It would work better, and the manufacturer recommends that you use a water jet to cut this stuff. Unfortunately, I don't have a water jet, so this is the best that I can come up with. But my little Ryobi bandsaw does a pretty darn good job of cutting these things out. I'm very surprised. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed watching me cut the basic shape out on the bandsaw. Now I've used double-sided tape and taped the template to the back or to one side, and we're going to put this thing on a router table and trim it down to the exact shape that we want. Okay, so I've got it set up now with some guides to route the neck pocket. And there you can see the lines, and the boards are set right at the edges. So I've got my center lines, and I just need to cut a little piece to put here at the back to guide the router so it doesn't go too far, and then we'll cut this neck pocket. Unfortunately, I lost all the video of me routing the neck pocket, the pickup cavities, and the electronics cavity, and drilling the holes. So now we're just going to start assembling. I've also, if you've noticed, polished the edges of the guitar. The router, well, it leaves it fairly smooth. It's not polished, so I have to spend some time sanding and polishing to get it up to snuff. And so now we're going to drop in the pickups. We're going to attach the neck, and then we'll start working on the electronics. Now let's talk about electronics. I do my guitars different from everybody else. If you notice, all of my guitars use two pickups, and there is no pickup switch. Instead, I use a potentiometer. You can see it there on the left, the slide on this one, where the center, if that slide is right in the center, or the knob on some of them, you're equally feeding signal from both pickups. If it's all the way toward the neck, you're 100% on the neck pickup. If you're toward the bridge, you're 100% on the bridge pickup. But it's infinitely variable in between. So instead of having a switch that gives you the choice of one pickup or the other or both, you have the ability to vary how much of each pickup ends up in your final signal. You also have a volume and tone control, typical on every guitar. I believe it gives you more possibilities, and it also eliminates the need for that center pickup. It just doesn't make sense to me to put a third pickup in. They're trying to accomplish the same thing that I'm accomplishing with two pickups, and it looks a little less cluttered, in my opinion. So that's one of the unique features of my guitars, along with the fact that they're made out of bulletproof polycarbonate. Yes, they'll actually stop a 357 bullet per the manufacturer. Also, the polycarbonate is 30 times stronger than acrylic. If anyone's messed around with acrylic guitars, hey, they're pretty guitars. I love the look. They look great hanging on the wall, but they're unplayable simply because acrylic is too weak and it tends to twist with the tension of the strings, so your tuning is all over the place, and you can't fix that. It's just because of the nature of the material that's being used. And when I set out to do this, I was looking for a material that was stronger, that would be a playable guitar. And that's when I found this stuff. Like I said, it's 30 times stronger, it's stiffer, so you don't have the tuning stability issues, and you also get phenomenal sustain out of these, even more so than a wooden guitar, because wood flexes too. This stuff doesn't really flex. So it's not soaking up the sustain. So here we are, the guitar is put together, electronics are installed, and I'm just stringing it up for the first time, getting it tuned up, and we'll try it out. Make sure it works. I also get a lot of questions about what pickups I use in my guitars, and I'm using just good quality generic pickups. I'm not big on brand names, but these are semi-custom guitars, and if you have a specific brand of pickup that you want me to install in one of these guitars, let's talk. I can do that. If you want a specific bridge, a specific neck, specific tuners, yes, all that can be done. Contact me through my website at jackslife.us, and we can put one of these things together for you. Now, I do stick with the body styles that I have. I have the one you saw me cutting out in the beginning. That's called my viola, which is based on the viola bass. This is my take on the Telly. It's not a Telly. I don't claim for it to be a Telly, simply because, like I said, my electronics is different. But it's the Telly style. And I also do a V, and then I do one that's called the Mistress, which she's kind of heavy, but some people like that. I sold one to a guy who's a studio musician, and he loved the weight because he plays sitting down, and he feels that the weight keeps the guitar from moving around on him. It's personal preference. I also have a bass that's done on the Mistress body, if you're interested in that. So check out the website, check out my Etsy store. Thanks for watching.